All right, we are here and we have 5 more minutes before we start. So let's do some music for you guys until we get some people coming on. We're going to start promptly in 4 minutes. It's 1:50. So we are going to start in about 4 minutes. Let's see what we have here. This is Lupus and Color Butterflies of Hope support group. You will always have the opportunity to go back and review this, and the PowerPoint will also be placed on our website. So we have about 4 minutes left, and we'll just listen to some music until we start to come back in and start the actual presentation. We have about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. This is Lupus in Color. First virtual support group meeting. Since we cannot meet in person due to COVID-19. Some of the music that you're hearing is from Pure Meditation. It's just a conglomerate of different music with meditation values. We have 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Minutes. And then we will start our presentation. And if we get some people on this live, that would be great. If not, then it's just yours for you to go ahead and refer back to later on. I'll definitely post it on all our social media areas, and as well as our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and as well as it being here on YouTube and on our website. So it is 2 p.m. And I just want to welcome you all to the Lupus and Color support group meeting. We usually call it Butterflies of Hope. We meet every month locally. And since we are unable to do that, I decided to do a support group meeting via the internet virtually. So I just want to, begin by saying thank you guys for watching the stream. And I hope that something that is said in the stream can help you to overcome your pain. So let me just get into the PowerPoint real quick. So this is Lupus in Color, where we strive to educate, inspire, encourage, and empower lupus warriors all around the world. Our goal today is to provide you just a simple support group meeting that can help you get your power back over your pain. So before we start, I'm just going to read a disclaimer. The research information and our answers provided during this virtual support group are not meant to be used as a substitute for your professional medical advice. Information is gathered from several sources via the internet, print, and interviews with doctors and professionals, and may differ from your physician's advice. The information provided and presented is for educational and informational purposes only. To support lupus warriors in the quest to learn more about lupus, their bodies as they fight lupus, and how to navigate through the trials of lupus. Being a lupus warrior can be a lonely and misunderstood disease, and our goal is to help those affected to lessen those feelings. It is highly recommended before attempting to change anything in your medical or health regimen that you first check with your personal physician to see if it is appropriate for you and works for your medical treatment plan. The information contained in this support group is not intended to recommend the self-management of health problems or wellness. It is not intended to endorse or recommend any particular type of medical treatment. Should any reader or hearer have any healthcare related questions, promptly call or consult your physician or healthcare provider. No information contained in this support group, on the website, or on social media should be used by any reader to disregard medical and or health-related advice or provide a basis to delay consultation with a physician or qualified healthcare provider. Lupus in Color and its owner or representatives is not responsible nor liable for any advice, course, or treatment, diagnosis, or any other information, services, or products that you obtain through the virtual support groups, Lupus in Color website, or social media outlets. So I definitely wanted to get the disclaimer out there. Just make sure you read over that. And as it states, talk to your health advisor if you have any questions about what you need to be doing with your health. Okay. So let's talk about it. We're going to be talking about your power over pain. And let's just talk a little bit about lupus and pain. Let me try and pull this up real quick. Hold on a minute. We're going to talk about lupus and pain. It is a fact that more than 90% of individuals with systemic lupus erythematosus experience chronic pain. I know everybody can raise their hand and they can say without a doubt they have experienced some chronic pain. So let's talk about that. Hold on 1 minute. Let me just get this other application open. I just want to make sure I got everything there. Okay. Do that. All right, now we're back, okay? All right, so if you are like most people with lupus, you have likely experienced pain at some point. Inflammation is the most common reason for muscle pain and aches. And because lupus is an inflammatory disease, it may cause any of these problems. I think I clicked something and it went away. So let's make sure that we're back. Has lost connection. Click the camera button to start again. Stream. Here we go. And we're back. Sorry about that. This is new for me, so it's kind of hard to navigate. Okay, so we were talking about lupus pain. Let's get back to the lupus pain and discuss that. So, if you're like most people with lupus, you have likely experienced pain at some point. Inflammation is the most common reason for muscle pain and aches. And because lupus is an inflammatory disease, it may cause any of these problems. The good news is that pain caused by lupus can be minimized and some pain can go away when inflammation and symptoms are treated and under control. We all know that sometimes when we take our medications, it's a lot easier to deal with the pain and we don't have as much pain because we are able to really take care of the pain through medication. So, what we're doing today is trying to tell you different ways to take care of that pain. Let's see where we at here. Different ways to take care of pain. Learning to live with the constant fatigue and chronic pain that is associated with lupus does take a toll on your mind and your body, and it often leads to frustration and hopelessness. I know I've been there. So we want to share with you some ways you can get some power over your pain by providing you with little doses of hope. Different areas where you can try these different things to control your pain. These doses of hope come with providing you options for pain management and coping skills to see the pain through. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do when you are dealing with any type of chronic illness is to really understand what you're going through. So, understanding pain and how pain comes about is important. So, the experience of pain is highly individualized and therefore often misunderstood. Pain serves as an important purpose, warning you when something is wrong with your body. However, ongoing severe pain can cause worsening health and disability, dramatically impacting one's life. There are two types of pain. You have acute pain that comes on suddenly, might have a specific cause, like a broken bone, a broken finger, or you had surgery. And when the injury is healed, then your pain pretty much leaves. Chronic pain, which is what most lupus warriors deal with day to day, can be moderate to severe and last for longer than 6 months. It could be the result of an injury or an illness, or it could start with no previous damage at all. And sometimes people say, "Oh, you don't look sick. Um, you look great." But like the picture says, just because you can't see my pain doesn't mean I'm not hurting inside. So pain doesn't always show itself immediately to you or to people sometimes. So, talking about chronic pain. So, the International Association for the Study of Pain defines pain as an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage. An important part of this definition is the acknowledgement that pain has an emotional feature. And a lot of people don't think that that's true. But the reality is, pain has an emotional feature. Chronic pain is pain that goes on longer than it should. Researchers think this might happen because parts of your nervous system become sensitized and continue to send pain messages to your brain. So let me read that again. Part of your nervous system becomes sensitized and continue to send pain messages to your brain. Now, does that mean that I'm saying that everything is in your mind? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that research has proven that we condition our mind, our body can condition our mind to see pain a certain way. And anything that you do for 21 days or more becomes a habit. So your brain can be in the habit of really seeing the pain a certain way. Or with chronic pain, your body might experience pain even though no obvious medical condition triggered it. So sometimes we think that lupus is the cause of our pain. And sometimes it's not lupus, it's just the way that our brain is interpreting it, if that makes sense to you. So you have to really try and learn to trick your brain sometimes. And that's what this is all about, tricking your brain to have power over your pain. Chronic pain can lead to depression and fatigue, anger and frustration, career disturbances, and compromised function that can all lead to what? More pain, of course. Of course. In some sense, we can begin to um, get power over our pain by dealing with our responses to the pain and clearing our minds from the habit of responding negatively to the pain. A lot of times when we have pain, especially when we're dealing with a chronic illness, we condition ourselves to anticipate that pain. So the whole purpose of having power over your pain is to find different ways not to anticipate that pain and expect it the same way again. So it's not an easy feat by far, but definitely something worth trying to change how you react and interact with your pain. And it's hard sometimes, but sometimes what I say most of the time is it's easier done when said and a concerted action is put into making it happen. A lot of people say it's easier said than done. I don't agree with that. It's really easier done when said, and you put concerted action to it to make it happen. So we'll go over a few things that may be helpful in tempering your responses to your pain. And it may help you. Some of the things you might have seen before, some of the things you might already be doing. I don't know, but I'm just here to give you some information and hopefully it'll help you out to deal with your pain and get you some power over the pain. So, we're going to be talking about different strategies to relieve pain. So, coping with lupus can be challenging due to the number of areas of the body that are affected by the disease. We know it can affect your brain, it can affect your joints, and it can affect your muscles, it can affect everything and mimic so many different diseases. It's like all diseases wrapped in one. And you can really have some frequent pain. It can change your lifestyle. You can have emotional problems that result from the disease as the most difficult elements of living with the disease. So, medications, most of the time, are usually necessary at some point, but they aren't the whole story. And that's really what I want to get to right now. Chronic pain affects how your brain works. Because of this, lupus warriors who experience chronic pain often experience depression, anxiety, and difficulty in making decisions. You know about that lupus fog. you know about forgetting words and things of that nature. That all comes from the pain that you might be feeling day to day. So we want to give you some tips on how to relieve those things. This fact does not mean that chronic pain is imaginary. It is a complex medical problem that affects your whole life: eating, sleeping, relating to friends and family, working and caring for your children. Some people don't have a choice but to get up when they're not feeling well to care for their children. So, coping with chronic pain is draining physically, emotionally, and financially. We all know that. We've all been there. It can affect your sleep, your mood, and mental state. Effective treatments for chronic pain address not just the hurt, but also the accompanying issues. So, a basic goal of having strategies is just to control and to combat chronic pain is to empower you to manage pain by improving your physical functioning as well as your ability to control your thoughts, behavior, and reactions. So that's the purpose of this particular support meeting, is to really just get you some power over your pain and give you the ability to control different aspects of your life so that the pain won't be as bad. So some of the things that we use to control our pain, one of them is medications. You know, a variety of medications help to ease pain caused by lupus and accompanying illnesses. You know, some people use opioids, some people just use over-the-counter drugs like Tylenol or ibuprofen. And pain medications are helpful and often necessary, but keep in mind there are several risks and side effects that are associated with with these medications, especially opioids. So it's good to know some other approaches to use to manage your pain. One way is to reduce your stress. Stress reduction is important. Everybody says it's easier said than done, but it's really important for us to try to avoid becoming stressed and anxious. Some things we might let get to us that shouldn't get to us, and we have control over how we react to things. So we know that stress has a considerable effect on the immune system. So many people with lupus notice that in times of high stress, their symptoms worsen and many lead to a flare. So we don't want the flares to come. So we want to definitely minimize the stress. I don't think we will ever get rid of all stressful situations, but we sure can minimize the stress that we allow in our lives and minimize our reactions to those stressors. Sometimes we allow things to get to us because we're in pain, and everything will annoy you when you're in pain. So we need to learn how to step back and see things for what they are, see things for see people for who they are. Don't allow them to get to us, and reduce our stress by doing that, by leaving things alone, by not getting, anxious and stressed out over what people might say or what someone has done. We have to really learn to just reduce our stress so that we can reduce our pain, because the more stress we're under, the more tension your body is going to have, and the more pain you're going to be in. So, one of the things that you can do is reduce the stress. Exercise. Now, everybody says that, how am I supposed to exercise if I am hurting and in pain and things of that nature? It's real important. And there are three main reasons why you should begin an exercise program and stick with it, even when you have lupus. One is exercise keeps you moving and delays or even prevents disability and losing your independence. Two, exercise reduces fatigue. You might not think it does, but it does. Exercise boosts your mood by releasing chemicals called endorphins. Endorphins interact with your brain receptors, and that reduce sensitivity to pain and also lower rates of depression. So, just those three things alone are important enough for you to just get up and do some exercise. Now, a regular program of low impact exercises is perfect. I'm not saying to go out there and run 7 miles. I'm not saying to get up and do Zumba for an hour every day and hurt yourself. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that a low impact exercise, it can be yoga. It could be a chair yoga. It can even be a chair exercise where you just get up and you do some, lunges and stuff on your chair. It can be 30 minutes of walking. We just finished a 30-minute walking challenge for 30 days. I'm still walking as I can. I hope that you are too. That exercise makes a difference in your body. It makes a difference in your mind. And like I said earlier, the endorphins will really kick in once you work out. So even though sometimes you might be in pain, you can even just go up and down your steps. That's exercise. You don't have to go out to a gym and you don't have to have a formal way to exercise. Of course, everything that you do that is exercise, you have to do it safely, but you can go up and down your steps and that could be considered exercise. So I just want you to begin to think about different ways that you can cure, not even cure. I don't want to use cure because it might come back, but different ways that you can react to your pain and different ways for you to respond to your pain. And that's how you get power over your pain. So anything like swimming or walking can help reduce your stress. It can improve strength and movement and reduce your risk for osteoporosis and heart disease. And that's important because a lot of the medication that we may take can really harm our heart, can really harm our joints, can really harm our bones. So it's important for us to do things to combat any type of issues that lupus brings on and any type of issues that any medications can bring on. But as always, speak to your healthcare professional before beginning any exercise plan. They can evaluate you and they can tell you where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are and what you need to work on as far as flexibility is concerned, and tailor an exercise program that will meet your needs. To keep you moving and not get sedimentary and sitting down and just watching TV and things of that nature. A healthy diet. I think that people don't realize that a healthy diet is really important in combating pain. And while there is no specific diet for lupus, it is important to try to maintain a well balanced and varied diet that includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and a moderate amount of meats, poultry, and fish. Some things you should consider with your diet that you should not have: avoid alfalfa. Okay, so people with lupus are advised to avoid alfalfa at all costs. Alfalfa tablets have been linked to lupus flares that may result in fatigue, muscle pain, changes to immune system function, and kidney issues. Alfalfa sprouts contain an amino acid known as L-canavanine, canavanine, canavanine, that stimulates the immune system in individuals with lupus and increases your inflammation. So the last thing we want to do when we're trying to do a healthy diet is add something to the diet that someone might have told us about and it'd be harmful for us. So at all costs, just avoid the alfalfa and things of that nature. Limit your alcohol. Of course, you can drink in moderate amounts of alcohol. That's not really a problem in itself, but it can reduce the effectiveness of some of your drugs, especially if you're on like methotrexate or on a drug that uh, deals with your blood and things of that nature. So you have to be careful with the alcohol. So you need to limit your alcohol. Reduce your fat and salt intake. Steroids might be prescribed to reduce inflammation, but they also mimic hormones that are released by the adrenal glands, specifically cortisol. So that helps to regulate your immune system, and that's why it works, and it quickly reduces pain. So if you never knew, that's why they use steroids for lupus patients. Um, Tenderness and swelling and warmth connected with inflammation can be reduced by steroids, but the side effects of steroids also include the elevation of blood pressure, cholesterol, and your lipid levels. And those are all levels that you want to keep at a low rate so that you're not dealing with high blood pressure and things of that nature. Consuming too much fat and salt can also contribute to those conditions. So it is advised that you limit your uh, fat and your salt intake for a healthy diet. Take vitamin D. Lupus warriors are advised to practice sun avoidance, of course, because the sun will cause a flare for us. And as a result, almost 65% of lupus warriors have an insufficient level of vitamin D. And when you don't have the proper vitamin D, you can get some serious pain. So it is advised that lupus warriors take vitamin D and make sure that that vitamin D level is rising so that you don't have the widespread pain that comes with the lack of vitamin D. This is a tough one. Get enough sleep. One of the most troublesome lupus symptoms is fatigue. We know that fatigue can come on very quickly. You can be up and chipper one moment, and then the next minute you are just so out of it. That fatigue hits you like a ton of bricks. And lack of sleep can contribute to fatigue, and it's also been linked to increased pain sensitivity. So there are many simple things you can try at home to try and improve your sleep. It's advised, from what I've been reading and from what I've been told from my doctor and talking to other doctors, that 7 to 9 hours of sleep is best for you if you have lupus because it gives you, the proper amount of sleep. It gives you an opportunity to get into REM sleep, which gives you an opportunity to rest better. And there are just many simple things that you can try at home to try and improve your sleep and eventually positively affect your mental health and lupus diagnosis. Studies suggest that blue light devices such as your television, your tablets, your phones should be avoided for at least 30 minutes before bedtime. So you shouldn't be sitting in, your bed, scrolling on the internet. That can disrupt your sleep. Um, and the bedroom effort should be made to have a calm, relaxing atmosphere. Our bedroom should be a place where we sleep and we refresh and regenerate. So we want to limit as many things in order for us to get the proper sleep. There are some complementary therapies that you can do. And like I stated at the beginning with a disclaimer, before you try anything that we suggest here, please, please, please speak to your doctor and see how any of these things can help you. So, some of the complementary therapies can be acupuncture. That's when they take the little insertion of very small needles in the skin in various parts of the body. And it can be useful in decreasing the severity of your pain. Prayer. If you believe in prayer, by all means, there is power in prayer. Excuse me, I believe in prayer, and it doesn't matter who you pray to or what you do, long as you get in some prayer in there. There's been a various different studies that show that 57% of the studies had prayer as a positive treatment effect. So I encourage you all to pray and really get spiritually grounded. Meditation. We do Monday meditations every Monday, and they're short meditations just to help you through the day. And meditation can really increase your calmness and uh, calm your mind and increase your spirit mindfulness. So, meditation is one thing that you can use to really calm your brain and train your brain to not see your pain as such a difficult hurdle as it projects itself onto you. Some other complementary therapies, hypnotherapy, and some, type of hypnosis is a type of relaxation therapy with a hypnotherapist. And it guides the individual to a heightened state of relaxation. We know that if we reduce our stress, our pain will be reduced as well because we're not holding that tension in our bodies. So, hypnotherapy is another one. Aromatherapy. I actually use aromatherapy in my meditations. I use a lot of lavender and eucalyptus, and that's just to really get the essential herbs from the trees and the flowers to promote your well-being. Uh, it can help you with sleep. It can help you with calmness. It can help you with migraines. Depending on what you do to put them together, aromatherapy can really help you in calming your body down as well as calming your mind down so that your perception of the pain is different. Notice I keep coming back to your perception and your reaction because sometimes it's your pain levels are more of how you react and how you perceive it and how you expect it to come. So, massage therapy is very good. If you can stand it, go ahead and go out there and get a massage, and it will help your body to release toxins. It will help you to really improve circulation if you have some circulation issues. So, massage can also relieve pain, anxiety, and stress. Just looking at the picture, I've had a hot stone massage before. You might want to stay away from the sweetest massages if you're painting and you have a lot of pain in your joints and your muscles. But simple, easy massages are great for you. They will definitely help you relieve toxins, and you can just feel better after having a massage and relieve stress, honestly. Some other complementary therapies, Reiki. I am certified Reiki teacher, and I find that it's very helpful. It's like a healing in your hands, and um, people don't really get that energy is strong. It's just like if you meet someone and you feel something from them, that energy is strong. And the Reiki is an old Japanese healing art, but it's very helpful even today, to help people heal from trauma, heal from pain that not only comes physically, but comes mentally. So our pain is not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing as well, because you have to remember we're going through a lot of trauma dealing with lupus. It was traumatic, for me, I know, to just be uh, diagnosed with lupus. And it was hard and difficult, and it kind of damaged me. And I had to find different ways to relieve those feelings of anger, pain with something. So I decided to learn how to perform Reiki, and I feel like that's a definite therapy that can help you relieve pain. Reflexology is a type of massage as well, where the pressure is applied to the feet and the hands. Now, sometimes you might go, ladies, you might understand this, and men too, because everybody before coronavirus, we went out to get our nails done or get a manicure or pedicure, and the nail technician would, do a little reflexology, and you would feel so much better. Just them pressing on those pressure points, to help you to relax, and it can release toxins out of your body and help you just to relieve some stress. So reflexology is a great complementary therapy to try and get rid of that pain, or to just try and have power over the pain so it's not as bad as you usually see it. Yoga also is a form of exercises, but it focuses on strength, flexibility, and breathing and to boost physical and mental being. So you want to be well physically, but you also want to be well mentally also. You don't want to just take care of your outside body with these exercises and not take care of your inside. So yoga helps you to do both at the same time. And it's a perfect complementary therapy to help you focus on getting well as opposed to being in pain. A main thing that's really important from in my eyes is to get some support. Lupus symptoms can include anxiety and depression, which isn't surprising for a chronic and unpredictable disease. Many people with lupus find that support from family, friends, or a support group like Lupus in Color helps them cope with lupus symptoms and flares. A support group, whether online or in person, can be a valuable source of advice and comfort. And the most important role of a support group is to let people with lupus know they are not alone. When I started Lupus in Color, I didn't have anybody to go to. I didn't have anybody to say, this is what lupus is, and this is what you can do to cope. So when I founded Lupus in Color, it was important for me to let other people know that emotionally lupus can be draining, but you have options to help you through it. And educationally, you can you are not alone with not knowing what lupus is. So part of my whole thing with Lupus in Color was to provide support, especially emotional support, because I feel like emotional support is really lacking in a lot of areas. So people need to know that they can live well behind lupus. So support helps you do that. It helps you see that there are other people in your situation that have overcome, and it gives you strength and hope to move on. So when you avoid discussions about lupus or your feelings, it can really backfire. And it's important for you to be able to share how you feel and be able to communicate honestly about how you're feeling and what you need. And sometimes in support groups, it's the only way that you can do that is in a support group, because sometimes when people aren't going through what you're going through, they don't really understand what's going on with you. Your husband or your wife might see you up and about today at 2 o'clock, but at 3 o'clock, um, you're down and out because your body just can't take it anymore. And they might get angry over that. But when you talk to another lupus warrior, they understand. They can look at you and be like, I know exactly how you feel. Let me tell you what I found. This is how I got over it. Maybe it'll help you. And when you feel like someone understands you, it's like, oh, an epiphany. It's like, wow, somebody really understands what I'm going through, and they really know and can feel my pain, and they're not going to judge me and things of that nature. So that's what a support group does to you. And it can help you releasing those feelings of anger and being unsure of what's going to happen. That can really make a difference in how you anticipate the pain and how much you have power over your pain. Pain in your mind. There is such a link to pain in your mind. So, research suggests that because pain involves both the mind and the body, mind body therapies may have the capacity to alleviate pain by changing the way you perceive it. We've been talking about that the whole time. Changing the way you perceive pain. How you feel pain is influenced by your genetic makeup, of course, emotions, personality, and lifestyle. It's also influenced by past experiences. So if you've been in pain for a while, your brain has rewired itself to perceive pain signals even after the signals aren't being sent anymore. So that says to me that if we can control our mind and reteach our mind how to perceive the pain, then we can be in less pain, right? So here are some techniques that you can use. Deep breathing that goes along with the meditation, where you take deep breaths and blow them out. You know how you tell your children, if you have children, or you tell a friend, take a deep breath. It really works. It works to relieve stress. It works to remove tension. And sometimes if you breathe in peace and you say to yourself peace and breathe in and breathe out tension, it can really relieve your pain. When I was I had to have a transfusion, and I had to have 4 liters of blood. I was bleeding out. Lupus attacked my uterus, and it became swollen to the size of a volleyball. And I pretty much was bleeding out of my bed. And when I got to the hospital, they stated I had to have a transfusion. Um, that my blood levels were so low, they had never seen it that low before. And as they were giving me the first bag, they couldn't even. I was so bad that they couldn't even prepare my body for it properly. They just had to really just shove it in me, and I began to do these deep breathing exercises. Now, mind you, I'm a former athlete, and I was introduced to meditation and deep breathing by a coach. when I had tore both my hamstrings. And when I was taught that when I was younger, I didn't think that it was a big deal. But now as I'm older, it was really helpful as I was deep breathing to reduce my stress about the situation that I was going through. It was helpful to even reduce the pain. And I didn't even realize it until my husband was saying, "Oh, what, you're really taking some deep breaths." And I'm really trying to just calm myself down and to create a calmness in me so that my pain will subside. So deep breathing is really good, to train your mind to see the pain differently. Eliciting the relaxation response, an antidote to the stress response, which pumps up heart rates and put the body system on high alert. The relaxation response turns down your body's reactions. So after closing your eyes and relaxing all your muscles, concentrate on that deep breathing again. So you just close your eyes and you relax, you drop your shoulders, you allow your face to just drop, and you begin some deep breathing. And that elicits the relaxation response, which is the total opposite of your stress response, where it's fight or flight. So you want to try and do that, preparing your mind to deal with any type of pain that comes up. And positive thinking. A lot of times we post a lot of positive things on our website and on our social media outlets. It's real important to me for you to see that there is positive beyond lupus. It really changes your focus. Of course, we could sit around all day and just be like, oh my gosh, what was me? I'm in pain again, like it's going to change. We know you're going to be in pain because that's just the nature of the disease. But, what was me? We could all sit around and just be like, I hate it here. F my life, and, things like that. But what I found is that that doesn't get me anywhere. Positive thinking and thinking positive and thinking that this too will pass. And I can't, you know what? I really don't really like that statement, but it's the truth. That no pain lasts forever. The pain changes. Even with lupus, your pain changes. And we can change it even more by the way we talk to ourselves and the energy that we put out with the positive thinking. So, the importance of pain management. Lupus and chronic pain are conditions that can affect every area of your life, as well as the life of your family. Effective treatment is available and works best with a variety of healthcare approaches are used. A variety of healthcare approaches are used. And I say that loosely because try anything that you think might help you to have less pain or to lessen the severity of your pain. Talk with your doctor and ask your doctor, are you a doctor that also I know you prescribe me medicines, but are you also open to me trying holistic approaches? You have to be an active participant in your pain management, and you tell the doctor what you want. If you know that a medicine, you're not comfortable taking a medicine, don't take it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the side effects are worse than having the disease itself. But you talk with your doctor. And if your doctor is not listening, find another doctor. Seriously. But you need to talk with your doctor about all different types of um, health treatments that are available to you. We're getting ready to go through a shortage of Plaquenil or hydroxychloroquine. And we have to prepare, like we said at the midweek refuel, that we have to prepare appropriately with different ways to treat our bodies with this disease. And those different ways are not always medication. It might be meditation. You don't always have to take that pill. Sometimes you can meditate. So instead of medicating, meditate. It's really, sometimes it really is that simple. Instead of taking that opioid, meditate. Now, I'm not going to say that meditation is going to stop everything and you're going to be like, yes, I'm strong and things of that nature. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that it will help you and train you to deal with the pain without an outside source. Does that make sense? So think about it for a minute. Pain isn't always easy to understand. That's because no lupus pain is the same. There's nerve pains, there are bone pains, muscle pains, and all of those pains you have to address. There's even mental and spiritual pains that you have while you're dealing with lupus that you have to address. And different treatments work better for different kinds of pain. There's no proof that medications are the best or only treatment for any of them. Taking a pill is not the answer to everything. And that's what I was just saying. Instead of medicating, let's meditate. Don't medicate all the time. Meditate sometimes. Taking a pill is not the answer to everything. If it were, guess what? We'd all be pain free. That pill would be the miracle pill, and we'd all take it and we wouldn't have anything to worry about, right? So it's a great feeling not to depend on something, like I said earlier, outside of yourself to feel better. Sometimes it's the things that we discussed, as far as meditation and yoga and things of that nature, that can help us to learn to take care of our pain ourselves and to be powerful over our pain because we have the education and we have the knowledge that we know can work if we just apply it. So the goal should be to gain your independence back through pain management, so that you don't have to depend on drugs all the time, expensive treatments, or others to enjoy life. And that was really the purpose of this particular Power Over Pain support session, just to really give you a, different ways to take your life back, um, get power over your pain. And it was just a time to come together. If you had any questions about what was going on with your body, maybe we could help you answer them, and or maybe we can give you suggestions about how to go about asking your doctor. So, hopefully something that we said here was helpful to you in your pain. Um, Hopefully it has given you an idea as to how to really work in different areas to have your pain minimized. Nothing that we stated here today will cure you. That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to be powerful over our pain and to train our minds to help us do that, and to really have different ways to get over our pain, to have less pain, or to have the pain change from severity levels. So, hopefully, something that we said here has helped you. Um, Hopefully, it is going to really stick in your brain that there's not just one way to have power over your pain. There are more. There are several ways that you can have power over your pain if you just try them out. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your weekend. Please be careful out there. Try to stay home if you can, and if you do go out, just be conscious about what you're doing and be cautious as to how you're doing it. My name is Raquel Dozier. I'm the founder of Lupus in Color, and I hope that this lupus support group, Power Over Pain, has helped you some. Thank you guys, and you all have a great weekend. Find us on social media at www.lupusincolor.com, on all the social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lupus in Color, on what is this, YouTube, at Lupus in Color. Tell your friends, spread the word. Um, keep tuning in. We will have our Monday meditations, and of course our Wednesday midweek refuel. You all have a great day. Bye.